Buongiorno, mi chiamo Philip Saunders e questo è Travel in the Know. Welcome to Travel in the Know in Rome and a second of our special programs in honour of Pope Francis. Right now I'm in front of the Argentinian Embassy, of course, the country from which the late Pope hailed, even though his parents were actually emigrants from Italy. Therefore, whether consciously or not, it seems appropriate that we should be but a few steps away and also across the road from Santa Maria Maggiore, the papal basilica where Pope Francis decided he would like to be laid to rest. But before we get started, I'd like to recommend another of my videos, this one dedicated to the funeral mass of Pope Francis, which took place on Saturday the 26th of April. It aims to be different from the broadcast media and show you the Pontiff's funeral from the crowd and the ground up, if you like, rather than looking down from the broadcast media scaffolds. The link to the film is up here, and I really think you'll find it interesting. Yesterday, Sunday, the queues to get into the Basilica were extremely long. Loads and loads of pilgrims. I imagine many of them actually already in Rome, because the canonization of Carlo Acutis, also known as the first saint of the millennial age, was due to take place before the Pope died, and then obviously it was postponed, but many people had booked their journeys. This gentleman was very interesting because he was actually born in the UK and lived in Italy, and is somebody who spread the gospel through social media, the first person to do this and be recognized in this manner. Anyhow, as I said, the queue today looks more manageable, so I'm going to try and join it and see if we can get inside the Basilica, see the Pontiff's resting place, and understand a little bit more about the artwork and the interior. I hope you'll excuse the hat, but the sun is actually quite bright today. The weather forecast wasn't very good, so I'm extremely pleased about that. Joining the queue at around about 1:41 p.m. So let's see how long it takes us to get inside the Basilica. I'm nearly at the main entrance to the Basilica now, and the queue took only around about 45 minutes, and I spent 15 minutes on the side chatting to the correspondent of TV Romania. I'll include some of that interview here.
My name is Anca
And
Mihai.
you're from TV Romania?
Yes, I'm the public national television in Romania, and I'm the foreign correspondent from Rome, Italy.
What's it been like covering the Pope's funeral for you, emotionally?
I have to be honest, at the beginning it wasn't any emotion, because when we get the news, it was like a machine. You know, they're working as a journalist, you don't have time for emotion.
Sure.
I'm ashamed to say it was like a news.
Yeah,
So
it's your job.
yes, it's a job, because in the last 2 months I treat Pope like a grandfather. Every night I checked how is the Pope, how is his health. I've been to the hospital when I covered all the hospitalization period, and I was very, very, very sad. But at the same time, because I met the Pope, I tried to get the positivity of the Pope.
Sure.
He was in love with life, with people, with young people. He was a very good man, and I know that he wants us, everybody, to be happy, to be...
Yes. And you're not Catholic, you're Orthodox, right?
Yes, I'm Orthodox.
Yes,
I'm
so it's
Orthodox.
interesting from that perspective too.
And I was very surprised, I'm ashamed again, I was very surprised to hear during the funeral the Greek Orthodox anthem, Christos Anesti. Yes, it was a very important moment, because that was like the Pope willing to get us together.
Now we all wait patiently, and then are reminded to keep moving as we pass by the Pope's tomb. Can't help but be moved and also remark its simplicity. This is one of the 4 major papal basilicas in Rome. This basilica may be minor compared to St. Peter's, but I can tell you it's absolutely stunning, majestic, and obviously full of extraordinary art. It's truly a magnificent feast for the eyes as well as the spirit. Although it can't be called a simple building in any sense, and it's certainly far closer to the people, I think, than the spectacular grandeur of St. Peter's. And also because of where it actually is, much closer to popular areas of Rome, where less wealthy people live. I'm sure that the Pope would have felt more in touch with the outside world rather than the heart of the Vatican. I heard one person walking past the tomb and saying, "I'm sure they'll make it more ornate in the near future." With all due respect, I think he's missed the message from this particular Pope. The white Athenian marble columns which support the nave are extremely old. They either come from the first basilica built on the site, or potentially from another antique Roman building. The coffered ceiling, which is spectacular, dates back to the 16th century, and it's said to be gilded with gold that was initially brought to Rome by Christopher Columbus. We're now going underneath the high altar of the basilica, and this is the crypt of the Nativity, also known as the Bethlehem crypt. Truly is magnificent. This is also the burial place of Jerome, who was a 4th century doctor of the church and translated the Bible into the Latin language. And this is the extremely grand tomb of Pope Pius X. Here we stop to admire the Salus Populi Romani, which is the oldest Marian image in Rome, and also the place where this Pope often stopped to pray, reportedly his favourite icon. And Salus Populi Romani means protectress of the Roman people. It is said that there was a miracle in which this icon kept the plague away from the city of Rome. All popes would be very familiar with this basilica, Santa Maria Maggiore, because it is a papal basilica, and the Pope presides, for example, over the rites to the annual Feast of the Assumption of Mary on the 15th of August every year. And the canopied high altar, which is a little reminiscent of St. Peter's, is reserved exclusively for use by the Pontiff. Let's listen to some reactions to his funeral mass on Saturday. Hello, Father. Sorry, your name is?
Father Vincent Coyne, Order of Servite priest.
Okay.
And I'm from Manchester, a parish there, still parish priest in Manchester, Salford. And I was coming here first of all for Carlo Cuta's canonisation tomorrow, which has been postponed, but then we were rewarded with, although a sad occasion, to being present for Pope Francis's funeral mass today.
And how do you react to the mass?
Well, very moving, and also too the Cardinal spoke very well, sort of summarising a little bit, not just about his beginning of his life, but also to what he stands for as leader of the Catholic Church, the Church embraces everyone, and nobody excluded. And also he talked about the different churches, the different ways how people live their life, but at the same time we're all part and inclusive in the church, and also to care for the planet we live in.
My name is Gloria.
My name is Fiorello Maffei.
And you're from Paraguay?
That's correct, yes, that's it.
Correct.
We never thought we could have been so close and to say goodbye to a Pope which were for the people, humble, simple words. Sometimes we might even say cheap words, but those words that actually, if we put in the way they should be, are very touchable.
Excellent. Thank you so very much.
My pleasure, sir.
Thank you to you.
Gracias desde Paraguay.
We've now exited the Basilica, and as you can see we're on the other side of this vast church, and here you can see it's really rather beautiful campanile, its bell tower. I hope that you found this programme insightful about the final resting place of Pope Francis, and that you'll join me on another show on Travel in the Know in the very near future. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and arrivederci. Ciao from Rome.